Hello Dumaguete! Hello Negros Oriental! Hello Sillimanians around the world! On behalf of Joshua Soldivillo, this is Ronelyn Vailoces-No, and you are watching Silliman. For Silliman updates,
Silliman University hosted a multi-sectoral forum on the World Bank's key findings and policy recommendations for the Philippines concerning climate change, climate action, and low-carbon development on February 14, 2023 at Bethel Guest House. The World Bank published the findings and recommendations in its 2022 Country Climate and Development Report, which covers areas related to climate change and the environment, specifically the Philippines' climate commitments, policies, and capacities. Two Sillimanians emerged with key awards as they represented the Philippines during the Asian Youth Leaders Travel and Learning Camp last February 2 to 6 in Singapore. Christian Entrata, Silliman University Student Government President, and Enrica Marian Dinopol, SUSG House Speaker, received the Best Presentation Content and Outstanding Presentation Award, outperforming over 200 student leaders from Asia. Keep up the good work and congratulations! Also, congratulations to the winners of the 2023 Valentine's Songwriting Competition. Pangandoy, written by Julia Faith Joaquin and arranged by Jules Steven Josol, won as the Best Song or Grand Champion for this year's Valentine's Songwriting Competition. Gabriel Moreno won Best Interpretation for her performance of the song Manga, which is arranged by John Rafael Doroteo. And Natalia Songkal won Best Arrangement for the song Moonlit Dew, composed by JMA Kulanag. Congratulations, and that would be all. See you next week for another set of Silliman updates.
good evening everyone. This is a magazine program that talks about different aspects of Silliman University. A program initiated to discuss matters concerning the campus by the sea. I am Ronelyn Vailoces-No, and on behalf of Joshua Soldivillo, thank you very much for making Silliman your Monday night habit. And we are still in the Love Month. We are still celebrating the Love Month. I hope your February is filled with love, happiness, and peace. And of course, not just on February, of course, but also throughout the year and throughout the rest of your lives. Now, tonight we will have a special guest. I would like to say that she is one of our most awaited guests, and finally, we will have her with us tonight here in Silliman. So without further ado, let me introduce to you our Human Resource Management Director of Silliman University, Dr. Lourdes Angela F. Piñero. Good evening, Ma'am Luan.
Good evening, Ronelyn.
And it's a one-on-one interview. How are you feeling this evening, ma'am?
Fine, I guess.
So I'd like to congratulate on your appointment. I know that this is already long overdue because you were appointed as the director for HR in Silliman last September 2022.
Yes.
So, welcome here in Silliman, and congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you, Ronelyn, and thank you also for inviting me here tonight.
So when you first heard about the news that you will become as the HR manager or director, is it just the same,
It's
Ma'am Lu?
nomenclature-wise, it's director.
Director.
This is also because of we are going through a process of what we call org dev or organizational development. So out of this organizational development, of course, we are looking through changes. We are trying to have a more organized, or we are trying to position the organization in a more logical manner. So, born out of that, we are looking at how we can put proper placement of people and jobs in the university.
But before we talk about the changes, Ma'am Lou, let's first please share with us how were you feeling when you first knew that you are appointed as the director for HR?
Wow. It was actually something that I didn't expect because where I'm coming from, it was really just the process was somehow just geared towards like how can I use what I have had as experiences in my past work, in my work as a teacher before that, or in how I can use the concepts and theories that I've been dealing with, to make the university better.
So it's how ironic is it, Ma'am Luan, that we will have a one-on-one interview, and most of the time you are the one conducting the interview among the applicants here in the university. It's so ironic how the tables have turned. But let's just enjoy this moment as we have a casual conversation.
Sure.
Please help us also, or let the audience know, what was you mentioned about being a teacher, I suppose here in also Silliman University. What were your prior work experience? It's like asking, okay, what was your experience before this job, something like that. But yeah,
I think I have I'd say a very colorful story to tell because actually, I graduated with a degree in business computer application. So that during our time, should I say our time? That was the hot course. So after I graduated, although I really, really liked already dealing with people, I liked looking at the intricacies of people. But, because it's, bandwagon, you go to the IT related job. My first job was in customer care. And through that job, one of the bosses saw that I might have a knack for training. So she got me to transfer to the people development sector of that company. And from there, I also joined the business development sector, but still doing all the training. So it was a mix of, and this is where I got to see how it was the reality of the times, the computer and human interaction, or the digital, or technology and human interaction, and how it was the now at that point. When they Or after that, when I was trying to look for other opportunities, you know how it is when you're young, and I noticed that if you wanted to do training or you wanted to be in people development, you had to have background in psychology. So that's why I sought to, well, first I tried to see how I can manage life I was in Manila at the time, how I can manage that if I take a master's degree, but it was not practical. So that's why I came home and took psych. And after that, I think we could say it all is history from there. After my master's, the psych department took me in as one of their faculty members, and that's where my career in the academe started, and I could say flourished.
So how many years did you teach here in the university, Ma'am Lou?
I started in 2008, right after I graduated with my master's degree.
And then until now, you're still teaching a graduate or undergraduate students?
Not
or
anymore.
The HR department will
anymore,
demand more of your time?
It's really demanding. So at first, I still wanted to dabble into teaching, but then I realized that it's not good for my mental health anymore. So maybe when things or the dust settles, I can go back to. But I would really love to still teach.
Yes. So it's one of your passion, I suppose, Ma'am Lou,
I suppose, yes.
Yeah, so let's talk about your role, the role of the Human Resource Management Office in Silliman University. What's the role of your office, and how does it help our employees, our faculty and staff in Silliman University?
Okay. I think I would like to emphasize that this is a period of change.
Yeah.
So there's that, it's cliche, but it's true. Change is the only constant in this world.
True.
And we really have to always keep that in mind. Right now, largely our role is really in trying to improve processes involving human resource in the university. We are trying to put everything in its right place, per se, and that's why we started with the decision of doing OD work in a in an institutional level. So of course we all know that as part of an organization, you cannot just move a very minimal portion. If you move one there, it's gonna be it will have to ripple to the whole organization. So that's our role, and that's to manage that and to manage the people there. What we're doing right now is kumbaga, it's like trying to pick up sticks and putting it all together to become a walisting thing so that it can work as it should.
So aside from those changes, Ma'am Lou, do we also have programs that we can initiate or the HR office initiated or spearheaded for our employees here in Silliman?
Thank you for asking that. That's really one of the things that we are preparing for. So after the housekeeping, as we say, after we fix everything, then we'll have the available data, we'll have the available information to have proper programming for everybody in the university. So as an example, what we're doing now is, initially we're really putting all the information together in its right place, because we cannot just do anything or just go ahead without properly arming ourselves with what we need to do. So when we deal with people, that's where we start. So programs, we are looking at that. So if you have already received the structure with the HR with HROD there, you can see that we are already looking at learning and development, for example. So we're going towards really institutionalizing. It's not that we're lacking in that area, but maybe more on putting it in the institutional level, wherein like every employee, we all know where he or she is going, where he or she can go. So there.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that, Ma'am Lou, hopefully in the near future.
Yes.
Probably, within this year ba to or next year ba to, Ma'am Lou?
Hopefully, yes.
But anyway, because of the housekeeping, you must
Yes.
also prioritize that first. Now, Ma'am Lou, let's talk about, because I bet it's 5 months already since you become the director. What are the challenges and the most the challenges that you can share to us, and how did you deal with it personally?
Okay, I think we always go back. Change is always a challenge. So it's just like it's a very classic theory in psychology when we talk about change, and I'm gonna be very academic here, but Levin or Kurt Levin, his classic theory on change talks about or compares change with ice. So when you want to change the shape of ice, solidified water, what do? It's a long process of melting. Because if you break the ice, what happens? You lose some of the water, right? And you the force, has an effect on the ice. So in this theory, you have to wait for the water.
Patiently wait
Yes.
for the water.
So that's really the challenge, the change. So it involves my personal challenges in the process, having to deal with a very different environment, looking at it not anymore in an academic light. I think that's also one of the most integral parts of being able to embrace the new responsibility that I've been given.
So this is like a sort of evaluation also, Ma'am Lou. So how about the issues and concerns that you hear from our staff and faculty? How do you handle that?
Okay. I think one of the, it's both, where I'm coming from, it's both bane and boon, because I have been part of the faculty for
Yeah.
so long a time. And now I'm on the other side of the court, as they might say. So I have background and actual experiences. So I'm choosing to use these as my armor or my arms per se. So when I get there, I know I have actual experience of that. So as much as I can, I try to see what I can do with where I am right now. So that's basically how I handle it.
Although you're on the other side of the court, I suppose that we also work hand in hand.
Definitely, yes.
Right.
Definitely.
Okay. So, Ma'am Lou, aside from the challenges, let's talk about what do you love most about your job? Aside from dealing with people.
Yeah. Primarily, I think maybe at this point, it's really seeing how I can use concepts that I got in touch with as an academic or in the full academic setting, the research that I've been doing. By the way, my area of interest is really in industrial organizational psychology. So that's really people at work. So I'm excited as to how I can see, how I can act on concepts that I've dealt with in the past and try to use
the application
it.
of
Yes.
the learnings that you have in
Yes.
the past. Now, Ma'am Lou, I know some of the audience are have been meaning to ask this one because we have the HR director.
Okay.
What are the career opportunities in Silliman University that awaits them? No, but before you answer that, let us first have a short break. now we're back. We are still here at #Silliman, Audiovisual Theater of Silliman University, having a one-on-one exclusive interview with the HR Director of Silliman University, Ma'am Luan. Before we actually had a break, I asked you questions about the career opportunities, or are we hiring different positions here in Silliman University? Kindly share that to us and to our audience.
You can check the Silliman Facebook. We constantly have updates there for the career opportunities here in the university. That is also something that we look forward to as we also try to see how we can make the organization better with the right people in the right positions later on.
So what are the steps for this, Ma'am Lu? Like for example, I think you are hiring for dorm advisors, no?
So primarily we have we get the application or the intent to apply, and then we parse through the application letters that we get, and then we funnel them through the department or the unit that is involved. Then we go through the usual process of interviews. Actually, in the HR office right now, we have started the practice of how do you call this? Assigning people in doing, because of course I'm not the one who will do all of those. So in hiring, we have one of the staff there, Dennis Mira, who is primarily looking after the recruitment process. And this will go on into onboarding. This is something in terms of processes, we're still streamlining as well. So we're learning as we go along, because of course we can't stop, but we learn as we go along how to make things better for those who are already in the university and those from outside.
Now, Ma'am Lu, we're talking about career opportunities and employment here in the university. Some of our audience might be asking, what are the benefits exactly when you work here in the university? Benefits that are distinct from other companies.
I think, thank you. I think one of the things that we are really, that we could really brag about, if I may say, is that, well, being an educational institution, we also have opportunities for education, not only for our own children, but if you are a faculty or staff member without a child, you can nominate a direct nephew or niece to take part of that benefit. That's primarily, I think, one of the great things that we can offer. But it's not all, because it's really not a free thing. So the child also has to do their work. There are some requirements, so it's like a win-win situation. It's really the free education. Apart from that, we also have hospital benefits. That's not in the HMO because of our close association with SUMCFI. So we have our own set of benefits that we can also use for medical and health procedures. Of course, later on we'll be looking at how we can make things better. We'll be looking at, of course, program development. So in learning and in people development, we're moving towards that direction. So probably scholarships, in skills building, things like that.
Okay, I'm looking forward for that program, Ma'am Lu. But let's talk about the free education for the children of the faculty and staff, or even their niece and nephews. So how many children are allowed? Is it one only ba?
There's no limit.
There's no limit.
But
Four ba yun?
Yeah. So and that's from elementary to college.
So
for as long as they get good grades, that's
Okay.
free.
That's
Otherwise, they get discounted education or tuition, depending on their grades. So, of course, as the grades go lower, it's not entirely free, but there's still a discount. But it becomes smaller.
How good the grade must be, or what's the grade requirement po, Ma'am Lu? Would you
It's
like to share
for,
with us?
for elementary. This is also something that's born out of course, because we're known that we are unionized, or there are unionized faculty and staff are unionized here. So, out of the agreement, no, that was something that was agreed way back. It's 88 lang
88 ang cut-off.
sa basic ed.
Mm-mm.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's 2.5 lang sa college.
So that's for free
That's
tuition
quite
fee.
average lang.
Yes, oo. And
So-
I think everyone or the students can actually, if they just study, hard.
Yeah.
No? So, yeah, because mahal na ngayon
That's
lahat,
right, that's
even the
right.
tuition fees.
That's right.
No, lahat ng mamahal, sibuyas.
And we're still prime school.
Yes.
Prime school. So.
It's a great really opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a good benefit for those who are working here in Silliman University. And you talked about the hospital plan also, Ma'am Lu. Kindly share to us more about that, like aside from
Yeah.
the HMO.
Yeah, apart from
that
our
we enjoy.
HMO, there's also the hospital plan that we can benefit from. So it's still discounts on laboratory and room rates in case of being admitted.
Oh, okay. So thank you very much for sharing that, Ma'am Lu. No, so if you would like to work here, not just study here in Silliman University, visit HRM office. It's located at Gihol, I think Guy Hall,
Gihol.
under the Guy Hall.
And they can constantly refresh their Facebook page and check Silliman's page. We constantly update or send updates through the Silliman web pages. Well,
Then you also mentioned earlier about the skills development of our employees. Kindly give us just a sneak peek, if I may say. No, probably you're still preparing about that, but I know that some of our employees are excited, to improve their skills, personal and professional development, Ma'am Lu.
so the plan right now is really gathering the individual information. So later on, and if there are employees watching, we will be updating your personal file. So please support our office in that endeavor. So we will be updating. So we're going to be able to see where each and every one is already in the trainings that they've had. And then from there, we can call, where might we send them next. So that's really the grand plan in terms of development. So also job-wise, for instance, we'll be looking at how we can upscale in terms of if there's a need for soft skills development, like customer service, how to answer the phone properly, things like that, so that we also help the image of the university.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you very much for that, Ma'am Lu. I hope it will also be in the near future na din, no?
Yes.
Probably this year or
Hopefully.
next year, hopefully. But once you're done with the housekeeping
Yes.
first, diba? Because I think a lot of things you also have to do a lot of things for that. Now, Ma'am Lu, let's talk about the relevance or the importance of psychology in your work as an HR. Kailangan ba talaga may psychology degree ka upang maging mabuting HRD, something like that, or is the position open to different degrees or different specializations?
Actually, it just gives you an advantage because you have a better understanding of behavior, and people. But it's not naman an exclusive thing. So that's why if you look at one ads, if it's an HR career or it's an HR, it's a career related to HR, you will usually see they'll say preferably with a BS or an AB psychology degree. But that's why it just says preferably, because it gives you that edge.
Okay.
So, yun.
So far,
it's the edge that it gives. Yeah.
so far, just an evaluation about your work. How are you doing now? Kumusta ka naman as the HR director of Silliman University? Okay pa ba yung mental health natin, Ma'am Lou? Or, from time to time, do you spend
Yes.
a lot of your time with your families?
It's a challenge, I might say. No, it's very, very demanding in terms of deliverables. But I do try to get some time off my day. So like for example, I do exercise. I try to still practice yoga at least, like if a time in the week I can still, I say I have 30 minutes. So I'll do a practice. In my family or with my family, we really make it a habit that dinner times are spent together. So I think that's something that makes me look forward to the end of the day. So yun, it is, I still try to seek for that balance between, like they say, life work.
So of course you have to take care of yourself first before you
That's
take
right.
good
That's
care
right.
of the employees, Ma'am Lou. So how many are we in the team in the HRD office?
Right now we have there are 6 of us.
6.
Quite a challenge because if you're
Yes.
very, very theoretical about it, there is a ratio between employees and HR staff. And for now, we really need to, stretch ourselves, but we have to make do with where we are and what we have right now. So,
Yeah, quite a challenge. 6, tapos ilan ba employees, faculty
we
and
are
staff?
faculty
here?
and staff, regular faculty and staff. So far, we have around 760 plus. 664,
Just imagine.
yes.
So that's 1
And
is
that
2.
doesn't include the part-time faculty
Oh, okay.
and the project employees, so which are all somehow we need to manage as well. So
Ma'am Lou, I have a lot of questions about benefits, and then, I think you cannot disclose the salary, no? But
yeah.
but I think we need to have another episode for that. We are running out of time. May I ask you to give your message? Perhaps you want to greet your children, your spouse. Of course, it's Love Month. Diba? I'll give you the opportunity to say hi to our audience.
Hi, I only have a child, by the way, a son.
Yes.
But hi, and message. I think it's just it's very difficult for me to give a message. What's the theme? No. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and thank you for allowing me to share about my job and the office. I think this is something that we all need to be able to appreciate, especially at this time, but also to be reminded, I guess, that although change is difficult, sometimes it's needed for us to grow. So just like the butterfly, it cannot be that butterfly without going through the cocoon and having to go through a very, very difficult time to come out in such a beautiful state. So I am hoping the same for Silliman. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Lou. And of course, for concerns and other messages, or if the people wants to reach out for the HRD or HR Management Office of Silliman University, where can they contact, what page can they visit, and who can they call?
For the meantime, we can be accessed through email. Please email hrd@su.edu.ph.
Thank you, Ma'am Lou, and it's nice to have an exclusive interview with you, Ma'am Lou. But I'll save the rest of my questions, behind the scenes na lang. No? And we are now at the last part of our program, which is the key takeaways. Giving the what are my key takeaways? We tend to ask kasi wala si Joshua ngayon. Hi Josh, I hope you get well soon. No, the key takeaways with the interviews that we conducted. And my key takeaway, I'd like to pick up on the change because, because of the pandemic, a lot of changes happened. And what we need to do, and we cannot really, change is inevitable. It is meant to happen. And what we can have control is ourselves.
That's right.
And if we don't really go along with change, we might be left behind. So, and I think that is the main reason, or the and I think that is really what makes Silliman Silliman. It is because they trained us to be competent. At the same time, they trained us to adapt to changes, and then to not be just closeted to our comfort zone. And it allows us to really shine whenever we, wherever we are, whenever we leave the halls of Silliman, or stay, or come back in Silliman. We always have a home here in Silliman University. Thank you very much, Ma'am Luan. Please, let's give her a round of applause for this exclusive interview. It feels like an boy abunda, no? And Ma'am Luan is our celebrity guest for today. No, this has been Ronelyn Faith Vailoces-No, and to God be the glory. Hello everyone! Thank you very much for spending your Monday night with us here in #Silliman. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share, and visit our Facebook page, and of course YouTube account, that is #Silliman. And catch us at Field Products Channel 6 every Monday at 8 p.m. and replays will be shown every Tuesday before the noontime news and every Saturday after the noontime news. On behalf of Joshua Soldivillo, this has been Ronelyn Faith Vailoces-No, and I'm still here with our very dynamic and beautiful HR Director, Ma'am Luan. See you next week only here on #Silliman. Bye!